What are the top 4 hazards in construction? Hi, I'm attorney John Sheehan. Since 1993, I've represented thousands of injured workers throughout Massachusetts. I fight to make sure that each client receives all the compensation and medical treatment that they're entitled to without getting taken advantage of by an insurance company. Well, a few years ago, OSHA, the federal agency that's in charge of publishing health and safety regulations and investigating serious accidents resulting in grave injuries or death, OSHA started a campaign to try and bring awareness as far as construction accidents, what the 4 most deadly hazards construction workers are exposed to that can result in grave injury or death. The campaign's called the OSHA Construction Focus 4 campaign. A lot of people also refer to it as the OSHA Fatal 4, because these are the 4 potentially most deadly, most fatal hazards that construction workers can be exposed to. Well, the number 1 hazard that tops the list are fall hazards. Fall hazards by far result in more deaths on construction accidents and very serious, very grave injuries. OSHA health and safety regulations for construction require that if a worker is working at a height of 6 feet or above, they have to be provided with some form of fall protection. OSHA requires either a guard rail system or a safety net system or a personal fall arrest system, which would include a safety harness, safety line that would be tied off and attached to a secure anchor to prevent the worker from falling. The second most deadly hazard on a construction accident are struck by hazards. Those would include any type of object that's either flying, falling, swinging, or rolling by that can come in contact with the worker with force, resulting in injury or death. Some examples of struck by accidents would include a worker being hit on the construction site by a construction vehicle. Could be a truck or a dump truck that's backing up perhaps, and the worker is in the path of the dump truck, and the worker's not aware that the dump truck is backing up, and the operator of the dump truck is not aware that the worker is in its path. Another type of struck by accident could be a crane that tips over and crushes the worker. And finally, another example of a struck by accident or struck by hazard could be building material or debris that falls from a height and strikes the worker, resulting in death or injury. The third most deadly hazard in a construction accident are electrical injuries, electrocution. First of all, electrocution is when a worker is electrocuted and it results in a fatality. The worker dies. Lots of times workers suffer electrical shock injuries. They don't result in death, but they can result in very serious bodily injury, including electrical burns and other types of injuries where the electric current runs through the worker's body, through their spinal cord perhaps, and it could result in such conditions such as spinal stenosis. It could result in cognitive problems that the worker has as far as being able to problem solve, being able to function, being able to remember things. They have memory deficits because of the electrical shock injury. And the fourth most deadly hazard in construction sites and construction accidents identified by OSHA are what OSHA calls caught in or caught between hazards. Those are things like if a worker is working in a trench, for example, and the trench isn't properly shored up and there's a cave-in. It can trap the worker, seriously injuring the worker, in some cases resulting in the worker's death. Another caught in or caught between hazard would be if a worker is somehow pulled in to the machinery or equipment that the worker is working on, and it could result in, again, very serious injury, and in certain cases it could result in the worker's death. Finally, another example is that if a worker is in an aerial lift and the aerial lift falls over and it crushes the worker, If you have been injured in a construction accident in Massachusetts recently, whether or not you're receiving workers' comp benefits, and you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can call me directly at the office. You can email me. If you prefer, you can visit my website, and you'll find contact forms that you can fill out. I'd be happy to reach back, talk to you about what's going on with your case. Maybe your workers' comp claim has been denied. Maybe your workers' comp benefits have recently been terminated or reduced. And maybe there's some third party that's responsible if you've been injured in a construction accident. I'd be happy to talk to you about your legal rights and how I can be of assistance to you. If you find the information in this video informative and helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell icon to make sure that you receive notifications of my future video. Like the video, and please share the video with your friends and family.